Hey guys, Hammer here. Thanks for clicking on. So, first to note, Twinkie's poker run has been moved from Saturday to Sunday due to inclement weather. It's supposed to be pretty shitty around here late tonight into tomorrow morning and right through the morning. So, he moved it to Sunday. We'll see how things go, how the weather is, what we got going on. We may still do it, and it may end up being on Sunday. So now, it's after work on Friday. I stopped at Harley Davidson and picked up brake pads for the bike because I've been checking them and they're getting down there. So versus starting to hear them squeaking and having a problem, I got a little time between tonight and tomorrow to get the brakes done. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Quick note, remember I've made comments about, these guys don't know what they're fucking talking about. Not that I really do, but there's always YouTube, right? So anyway, I went down there and I talked to one of the, now remember, he's a sales guy, not a service tech. But he's been there a long time, this guy. I've seen him, I'm not going to mention his name, but he's been down there for years. So you should know what he's selling. So I said, hey, I got my 2016 Electra, I want to pick up brake pads, I'm going to do a brake job, blah, blah, blah. I said, no, I want the kit, the one with the grease in it, with the pattern piece on there and shit, new pin. He said, there ain't none with no grease. I said, are you sure? Because, I haven't done a brake job on this one, but I've seen them done. And I seen one on YouTube I just watched on a 2016 Street Glide, which is identical to my bike without the tour pack. And he said, no, there ain't no guy. I said, all right, well, give me all the pads, thinking I'll get the pads, and if I got to figure out what's up with this grease thing, I'll deal with that. So I pick up all the pads. So here's the front pads. This is the one pair here. And of course it comes with a new pin and a new clip. And then there's two for the front. And then there's the back pad. And guess what it came with? You guessed it. It came with the pattern, came with the scraper, it came with the grease, and it came with the pin and clip. So take what these guys tell you with a grain of salt. Because I even seen it in my book. I've got a book when they sell you a motorcycle, they give you the book, all the shit you can buy, and that's where I was looking at the brakes, and there was a kit in there that had the grease. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and do the brakes on this thing. Notice I don't have it on that stand, and I'm not going to use the stand because obviously I'm doing brakes. So these things have worn down, them calipers are compressed. So when I go to depress them or uncompress them, I've got to get this cap off here. So you see how it's sitting right now, it's fairly level. If I have it up on the stand, it tilts to this side. So obviously I just need to do it like this, or at least for the front, so I can put it on to do the back, but I'm not going to bother. The back's on this side. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started on these brakes. Shouldn't be a big deal. I'm not going to make a video on it really, because simple brake job. I may show how the brakes come out and the condition of them when I do them. So, but there's 1,000 videos on changing the brakes, so I'm not going to get too detailed about it. But I will show you what I'm doing, especially if I run into a problem. So hang on and roll the intro. Let's go. So I just wanted to show you guys real quick. I've got everything covered up because obviously I've got to take the cylinder cap off to take a little bit of fluid out, because I had this fluid changed just, I don't know, 6 months ago or whatever. So I know they would have topped it off. Now normally during the regular wear, the fluid would drop down, you could push the calipers open, but that's not the case here. So So I've taken some fluid out, I've pushed that caliper open, and wanted to show you guys, if you could see this, see the difference in those two pads. Obviously my new one here, and that thing was pretty ready to be replaced. So glad I'm doing it before we start, because even the grooves are, I mean, there's a there's a hair left in there, but not much of one. So anyway, it's not going to be a problem after tonight. All right, so the front brakes are done. I got wire ties back on the lines, calipers, everything's cleaned up and put back together. Got good hard pedal. Made sure my reservoir was at the full line. So, not bad. It took maybe an hour, but I've been fucking her off in a little bit and whatever. So I'm gonna have a beer and then I'm gonna do the back one. So, let me see here. I don't know if you can see how bad these things are, but they're pretty well worn, man. I mean, there's almost no groove left, so they were definitely ready. So I'm glad I did it. All right, let's get to the back. All right, so as you can see, I'm getting ready to do the back. We got a couple of little retainer clips on the speed sensor that I'm going to take off. I've covered this up just because the caliper is going to come off and hang here. I'll put the pan down there so I can clean it up with some brake fluid. Same deal as the front. I'm going to pull the, can't really see it, can't get the camera in there, but I'll pull the cover off that master cylinder. There's only, the one pad in the back, so shouldn't be that bad. So let me get to this and I'll get back to you. Alright, so I've got the master cylinder cover off. As you can see, that fluid is nice and clean. Like I said, I just had it changed 6 months or so ago, so I'm going to take a little bit of fluid out of here. You can see where the full level will be. I'm not going to take much. I'll just take a little bit out just to make sure that it doesn't overflow anywhere when I pull this caliper off. That's the module right there for the ABS, and it's absolutely crucial that you don't get any air in that thing. Otherwise you got to take it back to Harley Davidson, and they've got to electronically bleed it. I can only imagine what they would charge for that. I don't want to imagine what they would charge for that. So I'm going to be real careful not to introduce any air into this line, and I'm going to go ahead and get this back done. So stay with me. Alright, so something else I want to show you guys. I bought all this stuff at Harley Davidson specifically for this bike. And like I said, all the front stuff, and these are the old pads, and see how pretty worn they are. They came with just the pads, the pins, and the clip, like that. The back ones come with this kit where you take this, peel it off, stick it to the back, put the grease on inside those spaces that they have right there, and then use this little squeegee to squeegee it out so it only leaves that little bit that's on there. And it only came with this back caliper. So like I said, I don't yet have my my manual, so I'm kind of going with what Harley supplied here. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, and I'm going to put the camera down, but I'll show it to you once I finish this off and got the grease on here. But I'm going to pull the caliper off first, get it all prepped, get it all cleaned up. Then I'm going to put this stuff on so I can put them right in. Alright, so I've got the plastic pieces on there. They just peel the back off and you stick them on. Take a little bit of grease. Put it on that one. Put it on that one. I'm not worried about putting a little too much on here because I'm going to be scraping it right off. Alright, so there it is. It's a really thin layer and it's just a little bit on there. So I'm going to go ahead and get these things installed and get them brakes pumped up. Alright, everything's put back together. Calipers back on. Got the reservoir filled up. Pump the brake down. She's good and hard. So I'm going to go ahead and take it around the block. Just a nice slow ride just to make sure everything's seated in good. And then I'm going to put my saddle bag and my side bag and cover back on. I'm going to take it for a little ride, short and nice and slow, just in case I do have an issue with these brakes. This is my first time doing brakes on Old Blue, so it didn't go bad. I mean, I think I was less than 2 hours, and I spent some time on the phone, and I've been doing the camera, so when I was being real careful. So I'll get back to you. Let me go take this thing for a spin, make sure we're good. I'll let you know. All right, I'm back. Let me, first of all, I can feel the difference. It went great, by the way. I did a nice slow ride, got them seated in real good, went down a little faster, hit the brakes hard, and it stops better. I can definitely tell the difference, so I'm glad I did it. Everything's good on the bike. Nothing dripping, no issues, no problems. Everything went great, so all that's left is to put the tools away, clean up the mess, and have a cigar and a beer and relax for a few minutes. So that's it for now. Thank you very much for coming along. Certainly appreciate that. I'm glad you got to see my first brake change on Old Blue here. And hopefully there'll be many more. Next thing this thing needs is, it's going to need tires pretty soon. Not real soon. I'm right at about 3/16, so they say that's about a minimum where you want to be. So, but I'm not going to do that myself. I'll bring it down to Harley. Probably not this Harley. I'll probably go to Crystal River or something. But anyway, thanks for coming along. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Certainly helps the channel, and we appreciate that. And that's it for now. Remember, be safe. I'm Hammer. I'm out.